He lived on Maple Ridge Lane for 30 years, long enough to memorize every crack in the sidewalk and every neighbor's dead by name. But the real heart of my property was the oak tree that stood in the backyard. It was older than the town itself. My late wife used to call it the anchor of our home. Its roots ran deep, and so did my attachment to it. That oak gave shade through countless summers, and every autumn it dropped leaves like gold and confetti. Kids once swung from its rope swing. He buried a time capsule under it the year my first granddaughter was born. When storms rolled in, it stood firm. He always figured it would outlive me. So you can imagine my shock when he came home one afternoon to find the tree gone. Not trimmed, not pruned. Gone. The stump sat there like a wound. Sawdust blew around the yard. A few workers were loading branches onto a truck. One of them handed me a notice from the Homeowners Association. According to the paper, the HOA had declared the oak a hazard and ordered it removed. No more one called me. No more one knocked on the door. They didn't even wait for me to return from my doctor appointment. He walked straight to the HOA office the next morning. The president, a man named Tyler who still wore his glittering like a trophy, greeted me with a dry smile. He told me the board voted to remove that tree because a neighbor had complained that a branch hung too close to the fence. He said they had the authority to act quickly. He told him the tree had survived hurricanes. He told him it was protected by a local heritage ordinance. He shrugged. He said the decision was final. He might be in my 70s, but I am not powerless. He went home, made a cup of tea, and he opened my folder of property records. He also pulled out the appraisal he had done last year. Because of the historical designation, that oak added significant value to the property, more than most people would guess. He wrote the HOA a formal notice. He explained that removing a protected tree without permission was illegal. He attached the town's ordinance, highlighted in yellow. Then he attached the appraisal that showed how much value the oak added. The total loss came to just over $500,000. So he sent them the bill. Within hours, he started getting calls. First from Tyler, then from a lawyer, then from another board member who suddenly remembered me from a neighborhood barbecue 10 years earlier. They all wanted to talk this through. They suggested it was a misunderstanding. They asked if maybe we could settle it quietly. He told them he was open to a conversation, but only with everything in writing. A week later, we met in a conference room at the town center. They expected me to come alone. Instead, he brought a local attorney who had handled environmental cases for decades. The HOA board shifted in their seats when they saw him. My lawyer spread out photos of the tree, old maps, and the ordinance that clearly listed it as protected. He explained the fines they faced. He explained the civil liability. He explained that several news outlets would likely be interested in a case like this, given the age of the oak and the HOA's failure to notify the homeowner. For the first time, Tyler stopped talking. He just stared at the paperwork like it was written in another language. By the end of the meeting, the HOA agreed to a settlement. They would pay for a full restoration of my yard, cover the appraised loss of the tree's value, and issue a public apology. They also agreed to revise their procedures so no more major actions could be taken on a homeowner's property without written consent. It wasn't the oak. Nothing could replace that. But the principle mattered. The tree belonged to my history. You don't erase someone's history without consequences. A few months later, he planted a new young oak in the same spot. It will not reach its predecessor's height in my lifetime, but that is alright. Trees like that are gifts we prepare for the next generation. Sometimes neighbors stop by and ask what happened with the HOA. He always smile and tell them the same thing. You have to stand up for what you care about, even if it feels like you're the only one doing it. And if you enjoyed this story, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. You have plenty more stories to share, and I'd love to have you along.